Well, a good morning to you. Welcome to Sunday Best on KTN and BTV. It's good to have you. Thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to, walk into your living room, wherever you are, on your phone, probably you're streaming. Karibu sana, and it's a happy new year. Definitely, karibu sana. 2020 was a challenging year. 2021 was equally challenging. And so we are trusting and believing God for a new beginning this year, 2022. A lot of things are happening. We are, we'll be getting into the election time as a nation. We are trusting God to give us good leaders, all the way from the MCAs coming up, elective leaders up to the president. We're trusting God for, great leaders for this nation that will take us to the next level, right? And many other things we're trusting God for. I don't know what you're trusting God for, so you can engage with us. Tell us, I'm trusting God for this, I'm trusting God for this. And especially after two heavy seasons, we are really believing God for an amazing year. So karibu sana. Today we do it a bit differently. Of course, I have two amazing guests. We get to hear new beginnings from their end. They have beautiful stories, and they're going to share their testimonies even as we speak life and new beginnings to you. So karibu sana. My name is Anthony Ndema. Of course, I have Mrs. Nancy Mwabili. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Ndema, for having me.
You're well?
Yes, I'm good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. It's good to be here in this year, isn't it?
It's such a blessing to see a new year.
I know.
And I'm looking forward.
Wow.
In great expectation.
Come on. We thank God. We know the other Mwabili many times. He's in media. So it's good to connect to the other half of Mwabili.
Now this is a complete him.
The complete him. That's Apostle Othniel Mwabili. I mean, he's in media, does amazing things. I mean, he's of the gospel, right? And then, of course, we have my brother there, Minister Reverend Bantu
Musa.
Bantu Musa.
Yes.
Ametoka all the way from Malindi. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year too, brother. Happy New Year.
Yes.
It's an amazing year. We thank God for bringing us this far.
Wow.
The last 2 years have been, oh my, stress, pressure. But by the grace of God, we are here.
Yeah.
And we are looking forward to amazing things that God is going to do.
Amen.
Yes.
No one knew that in 2020 we will be where we were. It caught us by surprise. We thought it will end sooner. It kept going and dragging, but we thank God that God is doing something.
True.
Even as we continue, trusting in Him.
Sure.
All right. So today I think we just want to share your testimonies, even as we speak about new beginnings. Yeah. Probably, and we'll be going like this. Tunafanya kidogo, tunaruka pale.
Yes.
I think we'll start with Nancy.
That's perfect.
You have been trusting God for something.
Yes.
And God made it. It happened.
Yes.
And you are here. It's a new beginning. Tuanzie hapo.
Wow, thank you, Ndema.
Yes, and you can give us a few more details about yourself. Tukujue kwa undani zaidi.
All right, thank you. And thank you for this chance.
Yeah.
As you've correctly said, I'm wife to Apostle Othniel Mwabili.
Right.
So ministering with him in a local congregation.
Yes.
And also within his other ministry responsibilities as an overseer of our region.
Right.
I wear different hats. Besides being his wife, I'm a mother.
Right.
I'm also an apostle in the marketplace.
Wow.
Yes, I've practiced human resource for many years. But it's also a new beginning as far as that is concerned, because right now I'm more into coaching.
Okay, lovely.
Yes, I'm doing a lot of coaching with a lot of focus on women through the Exceptional Woman Program. Yes, and as we talk about new beginnings today, because you've referred to something very specific.
Yes.
I waited for many years in expectation to God, in expectation before God, to become a mother for the first time.
All right, let's take this very bit by bit.
Yes.
Okay? So that we get to hear the whole story. Wow. So when you get into marriage, And you can share your story. Many times, kwanza kwa harusi watu wanakujanga na makalenda. After 9 months wazazi wanaanza uko tu sawa. Mimi you know, as you got our first child after 3 years. So my dad used to, oh, how are you, Anthony, mnaendelea sawa? Mko tu sawa? Everything is okay? Ya sawa. Kumbe wanapima hewa. So here you are, Nance, you get into marriage. And of course you have expectations. How was that?
I got into marriage. You got into marriage when both of us were pretty young.
Yeah.
But of course, we were of age.
Right.
We felt mature enough. We had graduated from the university.
Yeah.
And like every other young couple, we had expectations of starting a new family.
Yes.
In fact, I remember a song that my husband composed for me before our wedding. My birthday happens to be in November.
All right.
And we're getting married the next year in April. And he composed for me a song from 2 to 3. Symbolic 2, 3.
Oh, 2, 3.
Yes, because it was going to be my 23rd birthday, just before the wedding.
Wow.
And the hidden meaning behind that song was that soon after my 2, 3 birthday,
Yes.
we were going to increase from 2 to 3.
Apostle akona mamistari. He's very poetic. Okay.
Yeah, he's very poetic.
That's nice. Oh,
Yeah, so there was expectation.
Wow.
And definitely we had been counseled in our premarital counseling that it's good by the time we're getting into marriage to put some of those expectations on the table.
Right.
In terms of how many children are you expecting God for. So we had discussed all that.
All right.
So we got into marriage with great expectations of soon becoming parents.
All right.
Yes.
Did he have a number of children he desired yourself?
I don't remember whether we agreed on the number. I think it was either 3, 4, we're not quite sure.
All right.
Yes, that is a much I remember. I mean, we had debated about that. And it so happened that when he got married, he was also staying in a town somewhere in Nairobi.
Okay.
Not in Nairobi, a town in Kenya. You know some of those towns you say they're tucked
Yes.
somewhere. Huko, Mashinani.
Huko Bundus.
Huko. So we were kind of, okay, maybe we need to take the first 1 to 2 years.
Yes.
I mean, to settle a bit more.
Right.
I wasn't working because they'd taken some internships, but it made sense that when we get married, I joined him where he was.
Yes.
So we took about 1 to 2 years just to get to know one another, settle in marriage, bond a bit more. Extended honeymoon.
Yeah, of course, very important.
Very important. Then, of course, we're trusting God that by the time we finish our extended honeymoon, I would get a job, and then we'd be ready to have our children.
All right.
Yes.
Hold it right there. So here you are, beautiful expectations, and you know, honeymoon is really nice.
Yeah.
That period is good because especially if you haven't dated for long, it's just good to, you know, when children come, they come with a lot of other things. So here you are, high expectation. Rev,
Yes, sir.
tunarudi hapa. Tunataka kuona expectation ilitimia immediately or what happened. And we're talking about new beginnings.
Yes.
You've had quite a rough start.
True.
In this journey.
I tell you.
Hebu tuambie.
Well, so my name is Reverend Moses Bantu, and I'm an ordained Anglican clergy.
Wow.
Yes, ordained in the Diocese of Butere, if you understand how the Anglican Church works.
Yes.
But then by the grace of God, my bishop realized that I'm into missions. So he released me to go and do missions wherever God would send me.
Wow.
By the time he was releasing me, I was a makanga. Let me use that word.
Yes.
Because I think it's understood. I was a makanga in Route 58 and 35, 60, that is Umoja. So I was more of an urban minister, urban missioner.
So tell us how that met. I'm trying to think of wewe ni makanga.
Yes.
Na unakuwa ordained.
Yes.
Kama nini wa ACK.
I tell you.
That's interesting.
It's, I think, from a very young age, I knew that God had called me to ministry.
Wow.
So, of course, my dad had other plans that I'd be a lawyer. I think my mom wanted also, you know, these big titles that shake people.
Architect, engineer.
Yes. But for me, ministry was in me.
Right.
I think I took it from my mother. My mother is an evangelist. So everything that I was doing, I knew that at the end of the day, I will end up in ministry.
Wow.
And even being in that space, transport industry, na kuita beba beba, my mission was still very, very clear that in this matatu, where I happen to work, I must make a difference. They must see that there's a conductor, there's a makanga that is not like any other. And actually it did work. And I thank God that at that particular moment, there's so many people, so many makangas who came to Christ. I had this big house in Umoja that I opened. Many makangas don't have places to sleep. They work in the matatus, they sleep in the matatus, but at the same time, they're also very learned people in the matatu industry. So God
Tell us about
so
that.
much.
Our perception is very different. Some of us think it's watu walienda shule, ni wahuni, ni
Yes.
wakora. How was it for you being in that and you're doing ministry?
Thanks so much for that. I think I'm also one of the people that thought that, until it was circumstances forced me there. But I say that with this circumstance, I think God is going to do something new in this place. So I have to tune my mind to what I know God is doing in me.
Right.
So when I went there, I went with that idea of, they were so short pambao, as they say. But then I realized that there are people who have degrees from KU in that field. There are drivers who have houses, have built homes with that job in this city.
Right.
They have their own homes in this city. The others who are still in the university, just trying to raise funds to sponsor their education. But then, when I was there, I went there as an innocent person, trying to be all this churchy boy, an evangelist. But then realized that at some point, you have to grow a thick skin.
Yes.
Because you meet Anto probably had a rough time with the wife, because it happens in marriage, and wants a place to pour the anger.
Yeah.
And so you're done nicely, you want to do your work, but kuna tu mtu
ako tu na hasira zake.
Unampatia pesa, unamutisha pesa, hataki kupatia in time. You know, it's like it revolves around them. And so you have to grow really thick skin for you to survive. Police in your house, you have the council. So it's a whole system that forces you to be the muhuni that people see. But when you sit back with these people, you realize these are mothers, because there are women that do that work. You realize these are fathers who have kids in the university. These are sons who are in the university, who are doing amazing works there, because sometimes you meet them when they've changed and you wonder, uni kama alikuwa makanga, saizi ni lawyer fulani. They were doing something. And so that really changed my perception on how I look at them, and I started to respect every work. Because in between there also you meet people who are selling sweets, you meet people who are hawking, you meet people who are preaching, and you realized even the preachers in the matatus, some have degrees, some have jobs that we can't imagine, some run children homes.
And some are genuine.
Very genuine, very genuine. It taught me a lot, and it humbled me. I started looking at people differently. I started engaging with chokoras differently. They have a story. They have something that if we give an ear to, transforms us. And trust me, working in that system made me who I am today. Made me a person who can connect to any person.
Right.
Yes.
Wow. Hold it right there. We will want to understand the transition, from now there, and even right in there, still doing ministry.
Yes.
And doing it right. All right, that's very critical, because without sounding political, kazi ni kazi.
Kazi ni kazi.
I mean, but when you're in there, you need to still be salt.
Yes.
And do what you need to do right
Sure.
there. So Nancy, you have gotten married, and you're on honeymoon. You've said 1-2 years, let's wait, let's get to know each other. So you get to that time when now it's about time to get a baby. How was that?
Wow. Yeah, so 2 years down, I'm back in Nairobi.
All right.
My husband is back in Nairobi. So as you say, it is time.
Yes.
Everything is set. Finances are a bit better.
Yeah.
We are together.
You're more stable. Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're stable. We are together. We have bonded as far as marriage is concerned.
Yeah.
And then the cycles begin.
Right.
I miss my menses,
Uh-huh.
different cycles. I have been taught, because I've been to school,
Yes. Biology.
that when that happens,
Yes,
it's one
you're
of the signs.
expectant.
Yeah,
Yes.
so pregnancy test kits are there.
Mm-hmm.
We just go across a pharmacy or a chemist.
Right.
You buy one. So test after test, they're negative.
Sasa aje.
Hey, the same question we're asking ourselves.
Yeah.
As in,
So you've missed your periods.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you're confident
Yes.
that it's here.
What else?
But you go test negative. All right.
Disappointing,
Yeah.
surprising. You're confused. You don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So, and by the time we get here, as you said, watu wanakuchekia calendar.
Miaka mbili imeisha. What's
So by the time
happening?
you're getting to 2 years, people are
Yes.
starting to ask, what is happening? So and so got married about the same time as you.
They already have a baby.
When is yours coming?
Wow.
You have to respond to those questions.
And Nancy, before you even continue the story, I think, and you can just speak, you know, we are very fond of asking that question. And sometimes it's not the right question to ask. I'm sure through your experience, you can share with someone. Don't just keep asking.
Yes. And I know something. I want to speak to someone who's watching me today. Sometimes when people ask these questions, they're all well meant. Most of the time, because it is from people that you know, it is your friends, it is your family members, it is from those who are close to you. And they're asking because they mean the best for you. So these are unintended arrows. But it's very important to know and to be conscious not to shoot unintended arrows even when you don't know. Because you don't know what someone is. You don't know what's happening. You don't know what someone is going through. And it's very easy to assume that things should go out and should play out smoothly. So I'd want to, just from my experience, to request someone. It is in line with what the Bible says, that don't judge another man's servant. To his own master, he stands or falls, and he will stand because God will make him stand. So if you don't understand, don't go there.
All right.
Just give them space.
If you don't understand, don't go there.
Don't go there.
Give them space.
Give them space.
So you check negative.
Negative.
All right.
You're answering questions.
Mm.
Maybe just to give a glimpse of one of the questions.
Yeah.
There are very many that I could think about.
Yeah.
But by this time, we're ministering at Shofa House. We're ministering in the city center as pastors.
Right.
I walk to a bank on Kimathi Street. I meet a friend. We're together in the campus, in the main university, in the main campus,
Yes.
Christian Union. And then she asks me, Nancy, how is it going? You're trying to catch up. You know, some of those unintended arrows.
Yes, yeah.
And I tell her we are fine. Then she asks me, na watoto je? I tell her not yet. Then she's like, bado? What are you waiting for?
Okay.
Then I tell her, okay, we are waiting upon God.
Yeah.
Then her next question is, until when?
Eh.
And
Na
I told
ule
him,
ashiki.
hivyo tu ashiki. And she doesn't seem to notice that she's asking the wrong question.
Yeah,
But
and
I
she
tell
keeps.
her, and I tell her, we are waiting until he comes.
Wow.
Anyway, going back.
Kuna mahali angeshikia aseme we will pray with you.
Yeah, most people don't understand.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we said it's innocent most of
Yeah.
the time. It's well intended.
Right.
And they don't know where to stop.
Wow.
Yeah, hakushika. So test after test, they're negative. So it gets to a point when we think maybe it's time to see a doctor. Because of course, before that, suggestions come, maybe you could try this doctor, that one. It got to a point when we decided amongst ourselves, between ourselves, to see a doctor.
Yeah.
This time, I think I'd missed my menses for about 7 weeks,
Wow.
as had become
The norm.
the custom,
Yeah, the
normal.
custom. Yeah.
So I do my test, it is negative, and I go to see this doctor. And the first thing he does was to send me for a pregnancy test.
Wow.
So he sends me for a pregnancy test. according to this laboratory that I went to, that I won't name, but one of these famous ones in town,
Yes.
the results come back, and they say that I'm expectant.
Okay.
So I asked the doctor, okay, Daktari, why were my tests negative
Yeah,
and
the
this one is
kids.
positive?
Yeah.
But then he gives me a response and says, you know, within the first few weeks of pregnancy, the hormone may not show in urine because the test you did were urine.
Yes.
But as time progresses, it becomes much easier to detect.
Yeah.
So that is the response he gives me. So I go away and I get home, I tell my husband, guess what?
Here
We're
we
expecting
are.
a baby.
Yes.
But as it turned out, within a few weeks, we discovered I was not expectant after all.
My goodness.
These were false positive results as a result of human error.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the news like for you now when you, how did you discover again that you're negative?
How we discovered, by this time in between, I remember I had a retreat.
Yes.
Retreat had team building. Of course, I was very conscious of the team building. I'm not going to climb walls, etc.
Yes.
And as is usually the case, most of the time when you're expectant, within the first few months, the doctor would want to see you every other month, maybe
Right.
once per month.
Yeah.
So when I went for my next visit, which was at about 12 weeks,
Uh-huh.
all this time I'm thinking I'm pregnant.
Oh my. Oh my goodness.
So I go back to the doctor after 12 weeks, and he decides to send me for an obstetric scan. He was a licensed obstetrician gynecologist.
All
So he was a
right.
qualified doctor.
Right.
He had a clinic in town. So I go back to the same center
Yes.
where I got my false positive
Yes.
results. And this time, of course, I'm going to the imaging unit.
So, yes.
After drinking myself all that water, because of course you're supposed to
Yes, drink a lot of water.
drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
As we do the scan, we do the ultrasound scan. As is common with many of us, we are very curious. We are supposed to send the results. We are given a sealed envelope. We take to the
Yes.
doctor.
Yes. Wewe ukafungua.
Nikafungua. And I saw there was no evidence of pregnancy.
Oh no.
And I mean,
That crushed you, right?
it did. There was
Oh
no
my.
evidence at 12 weeks.
Wow.
After all this hope,
I know. And 12 weeks is a long time.
it's a long time. Before I
3
went for the
months.
ultrasound scan, the doctor, of course, did a physical examination.
Yeah.
According to him, he
Jesus.
thought the uterus was bulky. So the scan was just to confirm
Yeah.
pregnancy and to confirm how the baby is.
Yes,
how the
doing.
baby is and the viability of the pregnancy, as
And-
they say in medicine.
You see, you're not getting results that the baby is it's called ectopic.
Yes.
So, but there's no evidence.
There is no evidence of pregnancy. as
Meaning there's
in
been nothing.
there has been nothing all this time.
Oh God.
I mean, yeah, there was no baby. I
My
wouldn't say there was
goodness.
nothing. There was no baby.
All right. I mean, this is very, very interesting. We'll come back to engage you and see how does this progress. Are there false starts or is there hope? Coming to you, Reverend Bantu. I mean, we are talking about new beginnings.
Yes.
And here you are, done the cycle in Matatu. Now you need to push to the next level. Your
Yes.
heart is in ministry.
My heart is in ministry, but the situation has put me in the
Yeah.
Matatu industry still. So I keep on doing what I do. At some point, I transitioned. I started doing sound. Sound. I do a lot of things.
Yes.
So I joined my friend to be doing
Like a sound technician.
the sound technician.
Kufunga sound.
Kufunga sound. So during this time, I'd been working at All Saints prior to this Matatu thing.
Okay.
I'd actually gone to school and did youth work and evangelism.
All right.
Yes. So I'm already empowered actually to some extent.
Okay.
And I've been done theology. at St. Paul's. So I have a degree from
Wow.
St. Paul's. I have a certificate in cross-cultural missions and youth work from England.
Right.
And of course, there are questions like with
Nancy.
my sister Nancy here. So na hiyo masomo yote bro. What's up in the matatu
Unafanya
industry?
mavitu za nini jua kali?
Yes.
Kazi ni kazi kumbuka.
Kazi ni kazi bado. So while there, because I felt like I was not being supported much at my former church. But of course, my perception has changed now. As you grow, you learn some things.
That's true.
You realize that God was in the mission and was doing something new. And so I leave the matatu industry and I went into doing sound with my friend. And while doing sound with my friend at Mavuno Church,
Yes.
in Lavington, Mavuno Lavington, that just opened, and so they were seeking these services. One pastor realized that these guys, Mavuno is not very keen on working with Christian people, so they get anybody who can offer the service that they want to offer, and in the process, with hope that they will turn them into, the fearless influencers.
Yes.
So they accepted us like that, but then they realized that these young men are not just normal sound technicians that we hire, because one day they come into the hall and they find the hall set up and there's nobody. So we came early and we found that the pastor who was supposed to do this had not come. So we took brooms, took after gear hall, cleaned, panga viti, set up and sat. So they asked, this particular pastor asked, am I allowed to mention names? Because I really value this particular pastor, Pastor Hula. Pastor Hula, God bless you wherever you are. And she asked us, who has done this? And we said, it's us. Then she was like, there's something different about you guys.
You guys, right.
Can we pray after this? That was unusual. So we prayed after the whole practice happened. Then the same happened second time. I don't know whether she did it intentionally to try us or it just happened again. And we did the same. She came and everything was set. And I think during that time, she was noticing who was more into this ministry thing.
Yes.
So she came and told me, Bantu, I think you need to join our discovery program.
Right.
And explore more on your calling, because I think there's a specific calling that God has given you. You're not normal. And I was bitter. Church can make you bitter. So I was bitter with church. So I just wanted to do ministry. Now, at least a place where I told God that, you know what, I've done this in the matatu. You've taken me through school. How long am I going to be here?
Right.
Can your glory be seen in me? Yani. So I was bitter with church. So I told her, no, Mimi, I think I love serving God, but I want to do what I want to do now.
Okay.
I forgot to say that already that time, already had a family also. So I need to feed my family. I don't want to go to do discovery for a whole year without pay. Then I can.
So discovery was a program that you get to learn.
Yes, you get to be developed.
Be equipped.
Yes, as a leader, and then you transition into pastorship, into pastoral duties.
Wewe huko unataka hizo ma internship na nini?
No,
unataka job.
Bro, I've been a youth and teens coordinator at All Saints Cathedral for over 2 years, full time.
Right.
I'm tired of doing free work, even if it's serving God. My family is not going to eat. There's no way Jerry is going to laugh with me because nimetoka ku serve God, and I can't put something on the table for Johari and Jabali to eat. So I need to move. I need to start something new that Jerry will appreciate the God that I serve.
All right.
Some with Pastor Hula, I appreciate you noticing what is in me, but thank you.
Yeah.
But Pastor Hula is like, no, I want you to do this, and I want you to apply, and I'm going to be your referee.
Right.
Like, okay, I respect Pastor Hula. Let me say yes, and it's okay. So we go, and at some point, I would still go back to the matatu once in a while. Come hakuna job, I go back to the matatu.
Wow.
So after some time, she calls me, hey, Bantu, how are you? Where are you? Naambia, mimi niko kwa forward. Nachapa job. Niko kwa phone
Uko
nasema,
twende,
"Joy,
beba, beba, beba,
beba
beba.
beba niko doni." Kwanza kuna kijana ananiambia, "Where you are, it's so noisy. Can you
Yeah.
move kidogo?" And then
Wow.
kwa gari akaniambia, "Move, shuka in the next stage. I want to talk to you." I like, oh, upasi Joy, nini mbaya naye? No. And then I respected, I lighted that akaniambia, "Did you apply for Discovery, the one we talked about?" Anambia, enye siku apply. Akaniambia, "Next cyber and
And
apply."
yes.
Not just doing it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
So I fika town, ngia cyber, nika apply haraka haraka, nika send. The following day, I'm being called for an interview. I find myself in Mavuno. I've never been there. Nimechapa, nimekauka. And then I find amazing people there. They received me, started, changing. Like that environment just broke something in me that was so bitter. And then they asked me, "So why are you here?" I looked at them and told them, "I'll be very honest with you." Because you should pick a place where you do care nothing. Yes, in the mattress industry we say, "I feel nothing, I care nothing." Kesi badai. So I'm at that stage. I told them, "Me niko hapa because Pastor Hula forced me to apply."
Wow.
Yeah, so they looked at me and then they smiled. But my CV had
Iko na
been...
vitu.
Yeah, my CV is great. I believe in me. Even here, I'm just bitter with God, but I believe in me. And I know that this is what I want to do. It's not that I don't want to do it bila pesa at this time. God should be paying me. So they look at me and like, okay, so that's interesting. And then we finished the interview. I think they asked me a question that was very tricky. They asked me what do you think of callbacks? Callbacks is where it's very liberal kind of ministry how Mavuno works, but I appreciate it.
Right.
I told them I'm okay with callbacks. Like if you take Bob Marley's song and put Christian lyrics into it, how is that? I mean, I want to have a problem with it. See, you preach the gospel. And of course I was responding to this thing because nataka nitoke hapa bro. Sitaki hizi kelele. Cut long story short, I was called for orientation. In the orientation again, so we are introducing ourselves. I'm asked, so kila mtu anasema, "Why are you here?" I said the same thing. I'm here because Pastor Hula forced me to be here.
Right.
And I didn't even want to pass this interview. Wow.
Hold it right there. We take a short break. I like the authenticity and the reality of, and a lot of young people are right in there. They speaking it as it is, but also desiring, yes, to do ministry, but also to be practical.
Yes.
And we'll be able to learn a lot of lessons as we get to share this really very interesting testimonies. We take a short break. Again, Happy New Year to you. We're talking about new beginnings. And I pray that even as we share these testimonies, that God will also give you a new beginning as you start afresh or you reignite a new thing in your life. All right? So don't go too far. Right here on Sunday Best.